Alright, hi everyone, how are we all doing today? So I wanted to talk a bit about a Tinder tale, because y'all know that I go on lots of Tinder dates and all, very that and things. Now if you don't have me on Snapchat then you won't know, but I'm always with a different guy every single week. And of course they all come from this wonderful thing called Tinder. Now I have so many Tinder tales, so I thought why not share with you guys some of them, because I have so many. So I'm gonna tell you guys a story about this one time when I went on a date with the devil. Now he wasn't really mean, that's why don't get it confused with the name devil, but let me tell you the story, you'll know why. So basically I was at my friend Victoria's house and I was on Tinder swiping, and I'm like, okay, who wants to hang out right now? Who wants to hang out? And this guy came up, he was like, oh, I'm gonna hang out, let's hang out. So I was like, alright, where are you from? Okay, so you live here, I live here, it takes about this long to get to each other, so let's do it. And so he was like, alright, I'm down, I'm on my way. And so 30 minutes later, he gets here on a bike, So he gets here on a bike and I'm like, alright, let's just go to the clubhouse, play pool, talk, see where things go, So we get there and then he gets there and then later I bring him to the clubhouse. I start playing pool and Victoria's just at her house, chilling, waiting for me, waiting for my call, seeing everything's okay. Alright, so after he gets there, I'm just talking, okay, so tell me about yourself, how are you? Now this guy was tall, he's 6'5", and at this point I was in my little Converse, so I was 6'2", and he was up to here, So I was just okay, he's tall as hell. So after I started talking to him, I was like, oh, what are you doing? What's your career? He told me how he's in astrology and stuff. And then I noticed he had a couple of tattoos. So I was like, oh, what are your tattoos? Tell me about them. So he had a feel in his arms, hands, whatnot. So I think he had, now I remember there were lots of satanic tattoos on his body. I think he had 666 somewhere on his hand, he had a goat somewhere on the other, he had the pentagram I think right here on his hand. It was fucking insane. Now when I saw those symbols I was like, oh shit. So then I was like, oh, what are these tattoos? Tell me about them, please. So he was just like, oh, this is the goat, this is the pentagram, this is that, I'm very satanic stuff, very into that. And I was like, okay, okay, wow. And then he told me how he loved doing spiritual things, just lots of demonic things, something that I wouldn't like to surround myself around in a way. And so I thought that was very creepy, so I was like, okay, let's just go somewhere else, let's just move this into the fucking room or something. So we went into the clubhouse to play pool, and I was like, oh, here's a pool stick, and we got pool, and then all of a sudden when we were done with the game, I won, clearly. And so we sat down and we started talking. And one conversation led to another, and then he was just like, oh, I'm really good at I think he was very good at reading people or something, I don't know. This guy knew I was trans. So he was like, oh, let me read you, So I was like, okay, read me. So I gave him the palm, he just took my palm and, ran his satanic ass fingers through my little palms, my innocent palms. So he did that and he was just trying to make up some bullshit story. He was like, you had a rough childhood, you were very alone, you went to drugs and alcohol to solve your problems. And I was like, okay, first of all, listen. At this point I was like, okay, listen, dude. As he was telling me the things, I was like, wait a minute. One, I did not have a rough childhood. My childhood was great. I was not alone. I had lots of friends and I never smoked or drank, so what are you talking about, So at this point I was just like, okay, this guy's just making up some stories based on, what a normal transgender gay boy in the closet life would be like. Wrong! And so I was just playing around. I was like, wow, you're very accurate. Everything you're saying is so true. How did you know? And so, after that, I was like, okay, this guy's creepy. There's too much satanic shit going on here. And then he was just like, I know what you're thinking right now. I know what your intentions are, blah, blah, blah. And he just started speaking of some weird bullshit. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Come on, what? And so one thing led to another. I don't know how, but we ended up in the restrooms. Well, this one was late at night, so No one was there. We found our way into it, you know, very that and things. So we found our ways, you know, our lips just found our way to each other, and our lips just, you know, we puckered up, and whew, things got hot. So, you know, as we were like, you know, just making out, you know, like that, and then, you know, his hands went to my ass, and I was like, oh my god, I'm an innocent, what are you doing? Now at this point, like, I had my main strictly on no hookups, just because like that wasn't really like what I was into at the time. So what was it? He started playing with himself, and before I met up with him, I told him, listen, I'm not here for a hookup. I'm not here to hook up with you. I will not hook up with you. I am not my thing. Let's hang out. I'm down for it. So he was like, okay, yeah, sure. So I have my mind on, you know, hanging out, but it's Tinder, duh. So his hands found his way to his pants, and you know, one button got unbuttoned, a zipper went down, and his penis was out. Wow. Now I was just like, what? He wanted me to touch it, believe me, he did. I didn't. I was so, wow, pat on the back. I didn't touch his dick once. You know, it was just there, and I was just like staring at it. I was like, what is he doing out? I told you no. And so I was just like, you know, awkwardly like turning away, like, oh my god, no. But he was just like, come on, baby, come on. And I said no. I had really strong, I can't even speak. I had very strong self-control, so I said no. Put that fucking dick back in your pants now. It's not gonna happen tonight or ever. No. So, you know, he put his pants back up and he got really upset, and then, you know, he left. That's it. And then right when he left, my friend texted me. She was like, are you okay? And I was like, girl, I just went on a date with the devil. He's so satanic. So after that, you know, he left, and I went back to my friend. I told her the story, and I was just like, girl, it was so awkward. His dick came out. What? It wasn't even that, you know, the dick came out that scared me. It was more so the satanic stuff, because at this point, it was late at night. There was this tall guy. He was much more bigger than me, you know. He was 6'5", like I said. And he had all these devil's tattoos on him, and I wasn't sure what to think. I was just like, alright, fuck. This guy is like some voodoo witchcraft lover. How do I get out of this, you know? I was scared that if I didn't do what he wanted to, he was gonna curse me or like put a hex on me or something like that. What would I have to think? He had all these satanic symbols. He had all like the satanic symbols you can think of imprinted on his body. What's creepier than that, honestly? Come on. So not gonna lie, that did freak me out. That really did freak me out a lot. Like, scary. But hey, what can I do? It already happened. The moment has passed, it's gone. Thank God. Now believe me, there are much more Tinder tales to go around. If you guys want to see more, just leave them down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you guys enjoyed it, and if you guys want more, let me know and I'll tell you guys more, because I have so many Tinder tales to tell you guys. Anyways, that was it for this video. Don't forget to follow me on my social medias. They'll be all linked down below at Alina Genevieve. And until my next video, bye guys.